So Scott, one of the big questions at the moment is the supply chain issues that everyone seems to be having. Some manufacturers talk to you are saying that the problems are getting a lot better. Other ones are saying the problems are the same as they were last year.
Yeah.
How have you guys coped with those issues? Because I know it's obviously been a troubling time for manufacturers.
It's been tough. It's been tough, but we've been lucky. Part of being smaller has been an advantage for us actually during the pandemic. So when we find out about a semiconductor shortage, I make the decision on whether we're going to pay more for the part, or I go and find the part. Whereas some of these larger companies, they have a purchasing department with 20 people in it. They'll have to have a meeting on Tuesday with purchasing, and then after Tuesday they'll say, "Oh, we need to talk to engineering next Monday," and by then I've already bought all the parts.
Yes.
So from the market, so we've been nimble during.
And you've jumped ahead of them in the queue for those.
Yeah. Well, we bought them. I made the decision. Some parts we paid a few dollars for back in the day, 2 years ago. Now we're paying $20, $30, $80 for the part, and I'm making those decisions myself, which allows us to act quicker than, and that's what's kept us in production. So during the pandemic, one of the edicts from me to the company was, the most important thing for us was to stay in production. We have great products, competitive products, they're awesome, but even more important than that was to stay in production, continue to allow our integration partners and the end users to complete their projects, which has proven to be very difficult in the last few years. So.
Yeah. And something that's the kind of side effect of the supply chain crisis is that we've seen this big opportunity for what we sort of deemed as kind of brands that are in that sort of middle tier, really, between the kind of the big boys and the kind of smaller kind of Chinese brands, where maybe you can't get a Crestron or an Extron kit particularly because of stock shortages. And are they now looking at that middle tier and saying, "Hey, let's give this guy a try"? Have you been a beneficiary of that? And do you, if you have, do you think that will be they'll become a long-term partner, or do you think that will be maybe a short-term fix for them, and they will go back to maybe the established names that they've always used in the past because they've always used them in the past?
Right. Yeah. No. This is where we live. Right. This is one of the most important things to us, and of course, we've seen significant growth based on the fact that the supply chain, us being able to stay in production, again, super important, has by default had people turn to us for an alternative. Of course, they find us through the technology, but then they find out that we have stock. So, we've grown 5x in the last 18 months. It's incredible growth. And of course, one of my main concerns is what is going to happen when these manufacturers that have not been able to start shipping again.
Yeah.
Are these integrators and end users going to go back? I don't think so. We're hearing that they're not in many cases. They've told us that, and this is rightfully so, that they don't want to put they've learned their lesson about putting all their eggs in one basket.
Yeah, quite right.
They're actually going out, and a lot of them are doing integration again and enjoying the one of the things I say to integrators when I meet them is when they say we're I don't want to use names of particular manufacturers, by the way, but let's say we're a brand X house. You can come in and talk to us, but we're a brand X house.
Yeah.
And I say, well, okay, if you're a brand X house, then you might as well put brand X on your business card. You're a systems integrator. This is years ago I was having that conversation as I was trying to introduce the visionary brand to the market.
Yeah.
Now I'm hearing that at first they were frustrated that they had to go out and do integration again because they were used to having some of these larger brands do that work for them. But now we're hearing that a lot of them are enjoying doing this value add of systems integration and bringing these best of breed products together and putting them into these systems, and they're finding out that there are better alternatives. Less expensive, less power consuming.
Yeah.
There's all kinds of benefits to Visionary's endpoints versus the competition, and now people are experiencing that. And of course, we hope to keep every one of these new customers that we've gotten over the past 18 months, but only time will tell.
And these guys that are you're calling new customers, are they completely new customers or ones that have maybe bought like a small amount from you, but now coming for sort of bigger amounts because they need to fulfill projects?
A little bit of both. Some, definitely some of the larger systems integration companies, the AVI SPLs, the Diversifieds of the world, we've always done business with, but now that business is skyrocketed. And then there are many new customers that are coming to us because they can't get the product that they were getting before. And we're fortunate. We worked hard to position ourselves at a tier that is not the white label product out of China. This is not what Visionary is. We're pioneers in this technology. Actually, we've been doing it longer than nearly everyone in this building. When I say it, I mean video over IP. We were one of the first companies to ever do video over IP back in 2002. So we have a long history in that technology, and we're well positioned now to take advantage of the AV over IP adoption curve, right? Which is, HD-based T is being replaced and displaced by AV over IP at a much higher rate now, and Visionary is well positioned to take advantage of that. So.
Scott, it's been lovely talking to you. It's great to hear that someone's actually benefiting from what is obviously a difficult time for the whole industry. Scott, lovely to talk to you. Thanks for your time.
Cool. Thanks, Paul.